Hey y'all, and welcome back to the party. It's your girl, BrittReacts, and today we are reacting to Bill Burr, Black and White Culture. This is from Paper Tiger. Why did he name this show Paper Tiger? I really want to know. Anyway, let's see what he has to say.
So we figured out the number one thing we fight about is television, you know? I watch sports, she watches those Real Housewives, you know, it just doesn't work out, you know? You guys have the Real Housewives out here? You do? Yeah. It's just, I imagine it's just the most depressing thing ever. Isn't it? Those women, they just look so exhausted, you know what I mean? They just put the war paint and the circle tits, just trying to get in and like an athlete at the end of their career, just trying to limp off the field one more time. They're not as fast as they used to be. It reminds you of your own mortality. It's just like, ladies, just sit down, put on something flowing. I'll put on a sport coat. We'll be in bed by 8:30, right? We're old, you know? So we realized that, I don't know, we always fight about the television. So I'm like, well, what about documentaries? Why don't we just tape something we both like? We both love documentaries. They're fun, right? You watch them, you learn something, you repeat it at a party, people think you read. So I tape, first one I tape is on Elvis Presley, right? Now I love Elvis, okay? He fascinates me. He's like the first rock star with the power of television. They just intersected and he went to he ascended to this level of fame that no one had ever been to before. Hence, he made all the mistakes because there was no one there to help him out.
That's really interesting to think about with Elvis. Like, that's really interesting to think about. It's almost like nowadays where social media, all these people skyrocketed to fame really quickly because of social media, and a lot of people didn't know what to do with it because it was unprecedented. But I paused it to say I am, my husband and I don't argue over the TV because I am not a big TV girl. Like, I just would rather film my day and use my time to do something else. But I am a documentary girl. Like, I love true crime. I love history. I love like all that type of stuff. Like, the jail documentaries are probably my favorite. Like, literally the behind bars and like locked up, and my 600-pound life is by far my guilty pleasure. When it is time to sit down and watch TV, I'm pulling up the newest episode of My 600-Pound Life, and I'm probably eating while I'm watching it. So I just wanted to come on here and give you that fun fact in case you wanted to know about me.
No one had ever been to before. Hence, he made all the mistakes because there was no one there to help him out, right? He got a piece of shit manager that stole from him. Bam! He stopped making music, started making movies. He's not a good actor, right? Does that. Married a minor, started doing drugs, got fat, got an entourage, got even fatter, started wearing onesies, doing karate kicks, splitting his pants. Nobody's saying, you look good, King. You like that? You like when my royal bulls hang out? We love it, King. Keep going. Starts doing pills, gets addicted. He dies alone on a toilet. All right? This man kicked open all of those doors for the rest of us. All right? So I sit down and I'm watching this documentary as a white dude, which is what I am. I'm looking out my white head, watching this white shit. It's coming back into my white eyes, getting whiter by the second. Right? Now, my wife, on the other hand, she's black, right? Now, I hate saying that because it makes it seem like I'm gonna start doing some stupid comparison jokes. You know, those dumb white guy, black guy jokes? And it's always like the white guy's like, oh, Jesus, I gotta do my taxes. Can this chair hold me? The black guy's always like, you need to loosen up. You gotta relax, man. You just gotta let it happen. Right? It's always the same stupid joke. I hate those jokes, because they're easy. And it's been my experience that it's just not true. 15 years of being with her, there's really no difference.
Dang, 15 years they've been together? Wow. That's beautiful. I don't know why I feel like most of the time, anything I've watched of him, he felt like single or dating. And maybe he was talking about dating her. But I'm shocked to hear that they've been married for, at this point, 15 years. That's beautiful, Bill. Wow.
My experience that it's just not true. 15 years of being with her, there's really no difference. Because at the end of the day, it's a woman. All right? It's gonna be the same fights. I don't give a who you're with. I'm not gonna lie to you. There might be more head movement and hand gestures with different races of women. Possibly an index finger jabbing at your forehead, whatever the that is. But at the end of the day, it's the same fights. What's going on with us? You need to work on this. Why don't we communicate better, right? So she starts watching this as a black person, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you I am a neck wounder upper, finger twirling, mush you in the forehead kind of girl. I am. And I also happen to be of the melanin persuasion. So you do with that information what you will. But Bill is never wrong, and we know this to be true. It's so funny. But the arguments are all the same. Like, we're all complaining about the exact same thing because y'all are all doing the exact same thing. I tell y'all this all the time. I don't know why you deal with us women. We're a hot mess. I don't know why y'all deal with us. I don't.
Whatever the that is. But at the end of the day, it's the same fights. What's going on with us? You need to work on this. Why don't we communicate better, right? So she starts watching this as a black person, right? And she's seeing all the racism, obviously, that I'm seeing. But she was catching all this subtle that I was too white to see. But I knew I was missing it because I just kept hearing her huffing and puffing, just sitting next to me being like, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, somebody did something. I don't know what just happened, but I don't think that was good. So right when I didn't think it could get any worse, it could get any more uncomfortable between the two of us, this white dude comes on who evidently discovered Elvis. And he's like 190 years old, and he comes out, starts talking. He's just like, well, basically, I was looking for a white boy that could take the down and dirty, nasty blues and combine it with the pristine, angelic sounds of bluegrass. Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was subtly putting black down here while he was propping up the white. You know, the down and dirty, daddy not sticking around, drug-infested neighborhood blues with the Jesus as white as me, hair the color of the sun, angelic bluegrass playing music, right?
Jesus as white as me and hair as yellow as the sun, bluegrass playing music.
Hair the color of the sun, angelic bluegrass playing music, right? So at this point, my wife has like steam coming out of her ears. So I make a judgment call. I just shut it off, right? And she looks at me, she's like, why did you shut that off? Why did you shut it off? I was like, because you're about 3 minutes away from yelling at me like I produced this music. Right? Let's just forget it. We'll watch something else. She's like, no, why can't we just watch the rest of this and then discuss it afterwards? It's like, I don't do that. I just want to watch a documentary. I don't want to have a fucking lecture because of these fucking assholes. I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting there watching TV. And not to mention, we're just gonna get into an argument. She's like, well, why would we get into an argument? I'm like, ugh. All right, you know why? Because not for nothing, there was some black people in there saying some shit I didn't agree with, you know? I'm not huffing and puffing. Yeah, I said that. Like a f***ing idiot. And she just looks at me, she's like what black people? Like what black people that said what? At that point, it's like you started the luge, right? You can't get off the sled. Now you gotta have the argument. I'm like, go, guess we're having this. And I'm like, all right.
I guess we're having this. Like, oh my.
Now you gotta have the argument. I'm like, here we go, guess we're having this. And I'm like, all right, the black guy who brought up leg shaking, saying Elvis took leg shaking from us. It's like, really? Leg shaking? No, nobody thought to fuck this? Black people came up with that, you telling me that? I'll even give you that. Let's say you came up with that, but where did that black dude learn how to do it? Didn't he watch some older black guy do it? But what, because he's the same color? He's not stealing, he's just carrying on the tradition. But if Elvis does it, what the now he's the biggest thief ever? That doesn't make any sense to me. She goes, no, you idiot, it's not about the leg shaking, okay? It's about, he appropriated a culture. He took all the music, he got all the money, got all the fame, he's called the king of it now, and he never gave a not even a shout out. And I was like, all right. Fair enough. You made about 7 or 8 good points there that I can't refute. He appropriated a culture. I get it. You're right. She goes, fine, thank you. And I go, however, not for nothing, do I get mad at you when you get on a skateboard and you start going down the street? Do I get all offended like...
Are we comparing apples to oranges? Absolutely, Bill Burr. Like, what? Oh, I bet arguments in their house are actually really funny. I bet she can't take him seriously. I wouldn't. I would just be like, go away.
Mad at you when you get on a skateboard and you start going down the street? Do I get all offended like, hey man, that's some white shit. Stop appropriating my culture, man. Some dirty white kid in Santa Monica came up with that, man. So she starts laughing. And I should have stopped there, but I'm a comedian, right? I'm like, oh, I'm getting a laugh. There's got to be a bigger laugh, so keep going, Bill. Let's come with another example. So I'm like, yeah, do I get mad at you when you fly from LA to New York in under 6 hours? And she just, yeah. She just stares at me. She's just like, that was f***. I was like, yeah, I know. It sounded good in my head, and then it came out. I was just going for the laugh. And then she wouldn't let up. She's like, well, why is it f***? Why is it f***? So now I'm back in the classroom. And I'm like, because if historically speaking, black people enjoyed the same amount of freedom and privilege, they would have had the money and the time to figure out how to fly too. And she goes, that's right. And I go, however, your music would have suffered. Walking around with that cul-de-sac, it really is gonna be okay, and come up with that painful, beautiful music. You can't do that. Next thing you know, you're clapping on the downbeat, you're playing a washboard, right? James Brown is line dancing, all goes out the window. So you gotta make a choice. Either you learn how to fly and your music sucks.
Clapping on the downbeat and playing on a washboard. That last part was good. That last part really brought it on home for us, didn't it, Bill? Oh, gosh, y'all. I know their house is hilarious. I know it is. I know it is. Oh, man. All right. Please go have the day you deserve. Peace.